Welcome to take two. It happens every time. Record a video, talk way too long. I basically spent well over 20 minutes narrating through a day of my life. And I barely got past 11 AM and the camera died, so recharged, took hours. It's annoying. Huge reason behind my inactivity of the last few months, but I'll say few months, few weeks, month or so. And yeah, it's been tough. Haven't been doing a lot of travelling. The weather's been really cold, and it's starting to get really quite nasty now with the rain. It's pretty windy as well, and it's not looking good for the next few days as well, because February is of course rainy season, so that'll be fun. Not particularly looking forward to it, but yeah, I'll give you a bit of a rundown of my day. It's been fantastic, actually. Really good day. Early get up. I didn't have a lot of sleep either, but somehow managed to get up at 7 in the morning. Teaching at a primary school this morning, pretty good. I thought it was going to be a whole day thing, actually. Good, well paid, and essentially my role was to be a bit of a supervisor, come sort of assistant, speaking, teaching to some extent English in a Japanese primary school environment. And that went pretty well. Had an excellent time. It was certainly pretty fun. And I knew it was going to be paid, and they provided a free meal as well. Pretty reasonable quality. Food. It's quite dodgy looking fish, to be honest. But I had it. Saved a bit of face. Had to eat with the children, which was a little difficult, as primary school children, even the 11-year-olds, are prone to food fights. So that it didn't quite come to that, but they were quite boisterous and not the most desirable outcome. But certainly pretty good. Glad to have a free meal. Not bad. Whole day pretty good. Had a nice time. It was a good learning experience for me. I have no previous teaching experience, let alone work experience particularly. I didn't really get to exercise much Japanese, to be honest, because speaking Japanese to these kids was almost strictly prohibited. So I guess it sort of suited everyone, really, but yeah, it was a little different. I was expecting it to be the full day. In fact, it wasn't. It was only half a day, which meant that I could still make my afternoon class, which was pretty important, because not only did I get the regular attendance points, which all of course add up, help towards passing, plus I had homework due, which I was able to get in. That's done and dusted. Extra marks there, plus I also had another test, so always important to keep that up. I actually did pretty well. I don't know what I scored yet. I'll find out next week, but it's a very solid score, and in the circumstances, which was a bit last minute, really pleased. Pulled it off well, and I think I was able to, because I had such a brilliant morning. I was so motivated. The weather was surprisingly good, because it was awful yesterday. Recently did some washing, some laundry. I haven't really gone to explore the full extent of the damage, but I imagine the rain yesterday completely wiped out all my endeavours as far as laundry goes. Hanging on the balcony rail and fully ruined. But it's fine, and it's since gotten a bit worse weather-wise, so I don't know, we'll see. Find out tomorrow. So very good. The kids were great, actually. The boys were a little boisterous, a little, push. they didn't push their luck exactly, but they saw an opportunity to mess about a bit. And the regular teacher that was supposed to be supervising us as exchange students helping out in the classroom, their regular teacher was awful. I mean, she had no control whatsoever. She was wearing one of those authentic sort of "I'm ill, so I'm wearing a masks," which I think are completely pointless most of the time. Don't know. No one else. And I'm speaking across the world. No other country wears those stupid things, to my knowledge. I don't like them. They're quite cheap though. So she was a bit annoying, and I got off to a little bit of a slow start. I don't think the kids were particularly prepared for us strangers invading their classroom, as we did, but it was kind of cool. Yeah, I'm a native English speaker, of course. And it was actually pretty difficult not to just, because you got fed up of waiting on them and faffing about, so I just wanted to just blurt some Japanese at them, but yeah, it was good. We got through it, and as the morning progressed, I got more involved. I grew in confidence. I was a little nervous as well because I haven't been in anywhere near a primary school for 11 years since I left. And I don't think much has probably changed, but certainly I've completely forgotten exactly what it's going to be like. Most of the staff, bar the aforementioned useless teacher, were pretty good, pretty welcoming. The security guy was fine. Yeah, I'd got everything in order. I'd been thinking about it. I'd prepared myself mentally. I'd reasonably up for it. Had all the required documents. Found out where it was. It was actually very, very local, so very convenient also, which was excellent. Well, I held off, and it was all round a good day. The kids, reasonably inspirational, actually. The girls absolutely trounced the boys in my mind, but after speaking with some of the other volunteers, I say volunteers, but we were paid volunteers, so I don't know. But it's a one-time deal. It was just today only, but maybe something will come up in the future. But I think we all agreed that yeah, the girls were going to be better, and also because I don't know whether that was just because I was a male, and yeah, whether it would have been a different case if I'd have been a girl with the 11-year-old boys wanting to impress me. I don't know. But the boys somehow seem to revel in the freedom of messing about with some guests. So pretty good. I mean, they didn't seem to be doing much, to be honest. It just looked like outright fun, but pretty good. And this has given me not only a great experience, it was a fun morning. And I got paid quite handsomely actually as well. Pretty pleased about that. But I sort of realise now the importance of confidence and a freedom, and to see others struggling in English makes me not only value my own language, but I see their enthusiasm for different cultures, and I see them really wanting to impress and try their best with English, and some of that resonated with me a bit actually, and I definitely had an opportunity once it was all over to just call it a day. I could have just gone home, and that would have been an end of it, have a nap, and that's the end of the Friday. But yeah, I ploughed on heroically actually. Made it to final class of the day, the important one, and nailed the test. And I feel really good about that actually as well. It's a new chapter. It's a new year actually, and since the new year I have picked things up a bit, so it's really positive. Homework's in. I can relax, have a decent weekend now. And also, Found out that I could retake one of my uh, rather poor test efforts from last semester. So I say last semester, from before Christmas. So that's very good news. I just had a really, I don't know. I prepared for the test badly. I didn't revise the correct material, but I suppose in equal measure I also had a bit of an off day as well. So that's very positive. I can redo that. The nights draw in pretty quickly. At 5 o'clock it goes dark, raining again. Need to invest in an umbrella if I'm honest, actually. Prospects in the near future. Well, it's wet and cold actually most of the time. I've got nowhere I need to be. I think some of my friends are going to go to an onsen or something, but I'm quite against that idea. That's not going to stop them. I'm not keen. I don't like public nudity and all that stuff. I've done it once before and I didn't particularly enjoy it, and it's not going to be cheap. And I don't really see any of the value anywhere, to be honest. It's sort of one-time thing. I've ticked it off my to-do list before I die thing. I've got it done. And under pretty ideal circumstances as well. And if I didn't enjoy it in the best possible... If I didn't enjoy it when it was done properly, I don't see how I'm going to enjoy doing it again this weekend. Because this weekend involves an even more unfamiliar place, and perhaps the lineup of people going isn't going to be as good, and the novelty of the second time around isn't going to be as good either. So, yeah, really no intention of doing anything like that. It's going to be a pretty quiet weekend. I have a hellish week coming up. I've got to give a presentation. It's not the first time I've given a presentation in Japan, but I'm a little low on ideas actually. Yeah, not quite sure what to do, how ambitious I'm going to go for it. Also, another test next week, weekly tests, more homework, essays due in. Over the Christmas holidays I didn't really get quite as much done as I'd hoped. A couple of things I wasn't aware of having to do, so I'm catching up a little bit. And just about feeling like the term's properly underway. And actually after this morning, and after doing the teaching, do I want to do more teaching in the future? Probably. Yeah, I'm in the running for doing some more permanent part-time teaching soon. So that's pretty positive. As a career move, do I want to be a teacher? I don't know. I still see it as being a bit of a long way off. But it is a natural progression of someone doing a Japanese degree, I think. So in terms of information and contacts, and I'm in a good place, and I know some good people, so that's certainly useful. What is definite though, after today, I do feel very motivated, and it seems more possible than before as well. Not only do I actually have something on my CV to prove I have experience, but yeah, I also know it's a bit of a daunting thing. I don't know quite how good I'm going to be. I don't know how good they're going to be. And they were sort of 11 years of age. They were at the high end of primary school. Actually, I'm thinking, and I know high school kids are bastards. I know from personal experience, kids will ruin you, but well, I haven't tried teaching high school children, but maybe they're not so bad. Primary school children are just as unruly, so it's going to be difficult. As far as teaching a language goes, teaching a language at an earlier age is a lot less satisfying, probably, because they can't relate to me as a teacher on much of a level beyond just having fun. So I don't know, swings and roundabouts. But this sort of counts, I guess, as a bit of an update video because I've been quiet for quite a long time, mostly because the camera annoys me. Weather's awful. I had a pretty good Christmas, pretty good New Year. very good. I didn't get a chance to go back home to England because of the airfares. So it was a little quiet around here, but I still had a pretty authentic time. Hung out with friends. I watched Home Alone. I did everything pretty much by the book, as best as one can in Japan. So cool. Yeah. Hopefully, because I do also feel quite inspired to step up my YouTube game. And I have been slack on it recently because, amongst the aforementioned things, I also the Google AdSense program's pretty much on standby because I can't confirm my details, and basically they're not going to pay me anything indefinitely until I sort something out with them, which is a complete faff, and I don't really. I've tried tackling it sort of a little half-heartedly, and it's a big faff, so I'll deal with it in several months' time, probably when I'm back home in England. But until then, I'm not going to get paid for any of my views. But be that as it may, still want to improve my videos, getting views and subscribers, I suppose, as well, which is also great. I'm getting good feedback still, so that's very positive. And also recently, I actually found out someone else was doing something very similar to me, very similar setup, and yeah, from a very similar background in the sense that they had only just started and they were focusing their attention on life in Japan. So with that in mind, I was quite curious as to what they were doing. And I picked up a couple of tips, I think, and I want to improve upon their work. He was a boring sod, but balls to him. What I'm going to improve from now on, hopefully this video will be testament to this, but hopefully I'll turn the sound up, because I think my hearing generally is pretty good. Headphones are good, etc. Computer speakers are pretty good. But I imagine that a lot of my videos sound pretty quiet and you have to turn them up, which is not brilliant when you're trying to attract views and they somehow find their way to your videos and they think, oh cool, I'll check this guy out. Oh wait, I can't really hear him and I'm bored already. Oh, and his video is 20 minutes long, so yeah, this video is turning out to be another long video, but apologies for that. I've had a pretty good day. It doesn't sound like it. And this is what always happens. I have a brilliant day, I rush home, I'm really geared up to tell everybody all about it. Genuinely in a jubilant mode. But it's a long walk home, and oh wait, I have to delete existing stuff off the camera, right? Get rid of that stuff. Get rid of the New Year's video I recorded a little while ago that I've since decided to not bother with, because I rambled on again for a million years with that one. And then I start talking again for another 20 minutes and the camera runs out of battery, so 2 hours of charging and we're back. And I think it's probably a good time to end this video in a similar way, because otherwise the same's going to happen and I'm not recording this for a third time. So yeah, I don't have much more on my mind, I think. Well, we'll see. Nothing too much in the pipeline. I'll find out about future teaching stuff March time. I've got some holiday coming up soon, so that's some good time for some exploring. Once it warms up and it's less wet, I'll be more inclined to take my camera out and about, which is probably going to be more interesting for future videos rather than just recording the background of me and my room. So that should be good in prospect, but first some exams, which is a pretty horrible thought, to be honest. So cool, hopefully I'll sort the sound out a little better. Maybe use some better editing software as well. Cool, and this video here. Thanks for watching again, and hopefully I'll have some interesting and new content very soon.